day, you guys.
Oh, hey, sorry.
I only have one burrito a day, you guys.
Yeah. What's up, Thumpers? Thank you guys so much for joining us for our Day 3 recap of San Diego Comic-Con. It's so hard to hear with these headsets sometimes. You
I know.
forget that you're live. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Now they know how many burritos I have a day.
I know. I will have 4 if it means that I'm a happy boy. And
4 burritos?
I don't give a damn.
Well, I can't physically fit 4 burritos.
One for breakfast, one for snack, one for lunch, one for dinner.
Yeah.
That's 4.
That's right.
Cuatro burritos.
That's right.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to be here. We're going to do a little bit of a wrap-up.
The final wrap-up of the weekend.
It is the final wrap-up of Comic-Con. Saturday. You know, I think compared to our usual Saturday at Comic-Con, it was pretty light.
It's chill.
It was a lot of stuff, but it was all in the morning and not sort of segmented throughout the day.
But you know why?
It's
because there isn't a massive Marvel and a massive DC panel.
There was just
all day.
a massive DC panel.
Yeah.
We all decided when we got the schedule, when we learned that Marvel Studios wasn't going to have a presence this year, we were like, okay, as soon as Warner Brothers is done in Hall H, we're out of Hall H.
Yeah, we're done.
And I think we waited even to see what the schedule was going to be, and then we saw like Deadpool 2, we saw what it was, and we were like, I think we're good.
Yeah.
We can go do other videos. We had a chance to collaborate with Bob Chipman.
We did.
That was so
baby Bob. It was
He
so
came
cool.
by.
Yeah.
This is great. So yeah.
Did we hear anything from the Deadpool panel, by the way?
So Marquia went to the Deadpool panel. Cool. I didn't really get an exact sort of, recap of what happened.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that if it was something huge, like an X-Force, X-Men, New Mutants announcement, I think we would have heard from her.
We would have heard about it.
She did say, I think she did post on social media, on Twitter, that they were showing an extended opening. And I believe they did end up showing some extended clips from the uncut version that's coming out. They are screening the uncut version tonight at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably not going to end up making it, but the Blu-ray comes out really soon. So as soon as that Blu-ray comes out, we are definitely going to do some sort of a review or discussion about the extra footage and all that sort of stuff.
Hi, Zach.
Hi.
Yeah, so I think the big thing for us today was Hall H. Warner Brothers presentation. They had about 6 or 7 movies. We got to see stuff from Fantastic Beasts. We got to see stuff from Lego Movie 2. What was the other stuff?
Godzilla.
Godzilla was a big one.
Yeah.
And then they sort of capped it off with Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman 1984.
Yep.
I was a bit surprised that we did actually get to see something from Wonder Woman 84. Traditionally, DC has been pretty, well, aside from last year, I would say, because last year they brought stuff, or maybe it was the year before, they brought stuff from Justice League about 18 months prior. And I think, and a lot of people said this on the internet, a lot of that reasoning was because they were trying to convince the audience, like, oh, we've kind of recalibrated what we're doing. And it's about moving forward and being hopeful and optimistic and being more lighthearted.
Yes.
So that was, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was great to sort of go into this panel. I was excited about all the Warner Brothers stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But as usual, I think for us, the DC stuff is always like, what are you bringing?
Right.
What's going to hit? What are we hoping to see?
Because they've been so shaky.
Yeah.
We've seen stuff before. I feel like there's been Warner Brothers panels before where, like, they ended on Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
And this year, they ended on Aquaman.
Yeah. Right,
and I think that was really, really smart. They
I
opened
agree.
with Fantastic Beasts.
We can get into that as to why that was.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it might have been.
particular people that could not have crossed paths.
This was super interesting going to Fantastic Beasts because obviously Eddie Redmayne, Jude Law, a lot of the other actors.
They're great. Zoe
we
Kravitz.
knew they were going to be. Zoe Kravitz was there.
Ezra Miller
showed up
coming
in
out.
cosplay.
Was he a toadstool from?
I think he was like a
Mario Brothers
girl toad.
A girl toadstool,
which was super exciting.
Yeah,
and we thought, oh, they're not going to bring Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
because it's a Warner Brothers panel. Harry Potter and the DC stuff, it all coexists in the same company. Amber Heard is obviously playing Mara in the Aquaman movie,
and not just that, but like, after everything that has been happening with Johnny Depp, I don't know if we thought, like, are they going to try to scale back
his involvement,
Grindelwald, in like promotion for the movie, and then whatever he's in the movie, and that's what comes out. But like, are they going to scale back? But no, dude showed up in costume, to do a speech, just like Tom Hiddleston Loki.
Yes, and I think before even that happened, they started announcing all the casts as they were coming out, and they got to Jude, and we were like, oh God, no, Jude Law.
My heart skipped.
Thank God.
My lips were already like in mid boo. I was like, boop. Oh
yeah. We saw artwork of Grindelwald, and like us, and there were other people, but they were always like booing pretty well. But it was so funny to see how the crowd immediately changed its opinion or perspective on stuff.
Yeah.
Right. He comes out as Grindelwald, and they're cheering, "I love you, Johnny!" And I'm like, guys,
it
was weird.
It was to me. People feel different ways. Obviously, the majority of that room felt that they could just brush all that stuff aside. And I feel like I feel like it was such a misstep to promote it that way. Sure. Like, it's just like what happened with James Gunn. James Gunn, yeah. Disney ended up siding with a crazy alt-right winger.
Yeah,
like, You took a side. You said, okay, Johnny Depp, the fact that he did what he did does not bother us. Maybe we'll cut ties in the future, but right now, our movie is too important to care about what's going on in these people's personal lives. And I'm not saying that every personal issue should be focused on like this, but this is a pretty big personal issue. Like, it's pretty person defining. Like,
sure.
When you're a person that does this, do you really want to side with a person like this?
Also, rough, really quick, it's worth mentioning we have front page today.
Oh yeah,
so everybody who is coming from front page
viewers,
not sure what's happening. We're Hyper Heroes. We're part of Hyper RPG. We are down here at San Diego Comic-Con. We are doing a recap as to what we've seen today. We're going to talk about a little bit how the entire weekend went. So thank you so much for joining us. We do stuff on YouTube, and obviously Hyper RPG has a huge presence on Twitch, doing a bunch of different RPGs. We've got a whole bunch of different stuff. Doing live programming about 60 to 70 hours per week. But YouTube stuff, that's the stuff that we really worked on, doing a lot of trailer reactions.
Superhero content.
Exactly. It's been a crazy weekend here at San Diego Comic-Con. We've been having a lot of fun. Going from panel to panel. Hector, you were hosting a couple panels.
Yeah.
You were on a panel. You're going to be on a panel tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was on a panel,
Friday.
Yesterday. Yesterday I was on a panel.
No, Thursday.
Jeez. It all blends together.
I feel like I've been here for 8 days.
I know. It's great. We took a photo yesterday morning of us talking about some superhero stuff, Young Justice or something.
Yeah.
And Augustine was like, oh, man, this feels like it was taken a week ago. I was like, it was like 3 days ago. He's like, it was yesterday morning. I was like, oh, my God.
Estejor in the chat says, how was the meet and greet? It was awesome.
Actually, it was amazing.
Just literally wrapped that and ran upstairs.
Yeah, there are actually still people downstairs. We cut out so we could come do this.
Yeah.
But I just want to say it was so amazing to walk downstairs and to see so many people come out to support the Thumper community. Everybody in the Thumper community coming out to support Hyper. We feel very blessed that we get to do this every single week, to interact with you guys on YouTube or even here on Twitch. And to be able to come out here to San Diego Comic-Con and to have people come down. We have people who came down here today just to be part of the meetup, which was so cool.
Yeah, got to give a shout out to all those people that came out. It's great. I actually left and I felt bad for leaving because everybody down there was so cool.
Yeah, everyone down there was really cool.
That's Check 37.
Thank you so much.
Is that Check 37?
Check 37?
Check 37 just subbed.
Check, baby.
Perfect.
That's you,
Adam.
If
you're Check and you're 37, we're friends. So thank you much for subscribing to Hyper RPG. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys.
And also shout out to you in the chat for being so cool and watching along and being a great community. That's why we love being a part of this.
Yeah, and for those of you who are new, Hector, Augie, and I have been friends for about 7-8 years now.
Yeah, my God.
We started doing this.
We're old.
Yeah, we started doing this stuff about 2014. So we've been out together for 4 years.
I thought you were going to say 24 years ago.
24 years ago. 84 years. It's been 84 years.
84.
Yeah, no, we've been friends for about 7-8 years now, and we've really built a really good relationship talking about the things that we love, super passionate about all the stuff. Comic-Con is something that we've been doing for years. For me, it's been almost 20. I think for you guys, about the same.
It's been a while. Let me tell you the story of my very first Comic-Con. I had no idea Comic-Con was a thing. I had just moved to San Diego to go to school.
Yeah.
It was 2004 or 5. I was walking around in downtown with my friends, and they were like, oh, there's a thing happening here. And I was like, a thing happening? They're like, yeah, there's like comic books and stuff in there. I was like, cool, I'll check it out. I paid $25 to get in.
Back in the day.
To walk into the convention. There was no line. $25 to get in, and I had access to the floor. I was walking around. I was like, I just walked into heaven. Like, what is this? I had never heard of it in my life, and we've been coming ever since.
Yeah, that's been the amazing sort of evolution of Comic-Con for us.
Yeah,
is to I came here when I was 13 years old, and my first experience I was telling Iffy and I was telling a lot of other people, you would go behind the convention center. They would give you a form, you'd fill it out, you'd walk around, you just walked in. You literally just walked right in, and now it's like. It's a 45-minute wait to even go through a door to use the restroom. You might as well just keep your pants.
It's line con.
It's line con. It's crazy.
People who are emphatic about waiting in lines.
Yeah. But so let's talk a little bit about the con. Aside from today, what's sort of been like a highlight moment for you guys?
What still stands out in my mind, and I keep talking to people about it, is the Halloween panel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was. I really wish I was there for that.
Yeah,
it
was such a huge moment because it was just a moment of two people connecting. And what made it really great is that it was in the least expected place, which is a horror movie
100%
panel.
To give you guys a little bit of context, if you have not seen the footage from the Halloween panel, I recommend you go on YouTube and check it out. But so there was they introduced Halloween, the movie, and all that sort of stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis was there, and there was a gentleman who came up to the Q&A, and he asked, or he didn't ask, but he said, Halloween means so much to me because it saved my life because I was a victim. And he basically told the story of how someone who was armed with a knife, basically broke into his house, cut the phone lines and everything, and was potentially going to harm this person. And the first thing that he thought of when he was in the house was, what would Jamie Lee Curtis do? What would Laurie Strode do? The character that Jamie Lee Curtis plays in Halloween.
That's amazing.
Which is incredible because, a lot of times we look at horror movies and we're like, oh, they're just fun, cheesy kind of escapism sort of thing. But the fact that this movie that is now 40 years old touched a person in this sort of way.
Saved his life.
And the first thing he thought of was like, what would this character from this horror movie do? He grabbed like a knitting needle. He tried to run to the neighbors. He couldn't get in because they were like, oh, you got a knitting needle, crazy stuff. But the fact that the one thing that I love that he said was like, because of Halloween, because of you as a character, I was not a victim, I was a victor. I came out on top.
It's beautiful.
And
you teared up.
I was in tears, man.
I
was
don't
so
understand
powerful.
How you couldn't.
Like I've loved the Halloween movies since I was a kid. I first saw the first movie when I was 9. But
what did Jamie Lee Curtis do? She comes down off stage.
Yes.
She comes down off stage. She gives the man this giant hug, like they're filming all of this. She's holding his face tenderly, like they're talking.
Yeah.
She gives him a kiss on the cheeks, and like it's a beautiful moment all the way around.
It was beautiful. If you guys have a chance, please go check it out on YouTube. I think it's really worth checking out. There was a lot of people who were filming a lot of B-roll stuff. It was great. Zach and Lucas in the background. Zach and Lucas, everybody. The fact that Zach has been walking around that romper all weekend, or at least for the last 2 days, is very impressive. Now you get a first-class view of his tuchus in the back.
Yeah, booty shots.
It's great.
But booty shots.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm kind of in the same boat. I was not expecting the Halloween panel to move me. It was really great.
But what about for you? Like, there's other moments. I've told this story like 80 million times this weekend.
Yeah.
But I like other stuff. Like what panel did you host?
Stuff? I got to host a few panels.
What was your hot stuff?
A real highlight for me was definitely getting to host the Invader Zim. A reunion, but also like welcoming back the creative team. The Florpus. Enter the Florpus is going to be the name of their made-for-TV movie that's coming back. And that was a blast. And Nickelodeon does it so great because they like over-prepare. They plan down to the minute for how these panels run. And it's so great because like it's such a fun and there's such a safety net there. But then there's so much crazy improv that happens in this panel. And it was so cool to have the first ever footage shown from it's not even finished. It's unfinished, but they had the composer still score like original music for this little like montage of different clips. They showed it right before they showed the clip. The creator and everybody, they're like, it sucks, it's crappy, it's not done. We still have to do this, this, and this. But they showed it, and as soon as it was done, the crowd just like, like wow, and they felt this energy. And the art director and the creator, Jonah Vasquez and Jenny Goldberg, they've been working in the trenches. You know how people, you know how it is when you work in animation or visual effects. You're in there for months, and you're just like, you're looking at the same shots, and you just don't know. You don't know if anything that you're doing matters. Doubting yourself. For them to feel that, because it's one thing for other people to be like, hey, it's great. Hey, I work at Nickelodeon, or hey, I'm hosting this panel, and it's great. And they're like, oh, great, thank you. They felt the crowd, that feedback, and it energized them, and that was awesome.
Justin Noon is asking, what is that?
Jonan Vasquez
on the panel.
Of course, he was there. He was there, and so were the voice actors, and it was a blast, man. It was so great. And in terms of things that I saw, I feel like, again, Wednesday night was a big highlight because we got to go do that DC universe. That's right. You weren't there, but it was me, you, Cameron. We met up with Iffy. We got to do this DC universe thing.
Jim Lee was there.
That was awesome. I was running around. I got some stuff. I got my Turtles figures that night. So that was a highlight for me. Had them in my hands.
Where are those things?
And then over there. 2 days later, you got yours.
Yep.
That was awesome. It's so stupid, but like I care about those so much.
Well, that's the thing. I've never. You guys know me. I don't like to collect.
You're not a big collector.
Hard copy, physical things.
You don't like clutter.
I don't like clutter.
Simple,
yes, I don't like clutter. But when it comes to things like this, limited things, like even that poster like that, there's a poster for Bumblebee that we haven't picked up yet.
I
still got to do all that stuff. It's just for some reason this year they had a lot of really cool things to collect.
Bill Sienkiewicz, I believe, did that. Comic book artist legend.
Yeah.
So cool.
So these turtles were. I mean, we can talk about it in another video. The turtles mean a lot to me, and
of course.
This was a good thing to get.
I think the other big highlight for me in terms of announcements.
It's squeaking
what y'all
so
doing?
loud.
Y'all squeaking?
It's squeaking
look
so
at these Eubankies. Them Eubanking squeaking all over the place.
They're making secret plans for the future of Hyper right now.
They are.
Yeah.
I think the other surprising announcement, well, I can't really say it was a surprise because I caught wind of something in terms of Clone Wars. I heard from a few people that there was a huge potential for Star Wars Clone Wars was going to announce that they were going to be coming back and finishing the series. And we had sort of talked about covering the panel and all this sort of stuff. And at the same time, Cameron and I went to go do the 20th Century Fox Predator panel. So I thought, okay, I talked to a few people, and they were like, well, maybe it won't. It'll just be a retrospective. And I thought, I love the Clone Wars so much. I love that cast. Dave Filoni, Matt Lanter, all those people, Ashley Eckstein. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll just go to Predator. If I'm able to... My God.
Son of a...
If I'm able to make it, I'll run over. Comic-Con is so crazy for us because there's so many things we got to film, logistics and all that sort of stuff.
And even if you have press passes, even if you have everything planned to
you're not always guaranteed to get into
you're
stuff.
doing 4 things a day.
Exactly.
Just because
100%.
of the hours and just to go to 4 different things. That's all you're doing.
Exactly. So we came back to the hotel. Emma and Michelle and Matt were filming some stuff, and I look over to Emma while they were taking a break, and I was like, they just announced Clone Wars is coming back. 12 episodes, Disney streaming service. So we shot a video. If you want to check it out, it's on our YouTube. We do a reaction to the trailer. Super, super stoked about it. As everyone knows who's seen the stuff that I've done before, massive Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So effing excited that Dave Filoni and the team are coming back to sort of cap off and do a conclusion to the Star Wars Clone Wars series, which, as we know, got axed or they pulled the plug early. As was sort of going to a transition from Lucasfilm over to Disney and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, I know you guys have seen Clone Wars, both Gendy's and Dave Filoni's.
Yeah, I've seen both. I powered through, so I can't say that I completely saw every minute of the Clone Wars because I had it on the background a lot.
There's a lot.
But there was a lot of really good standout episodes. And once it got into like season 3, 4, 5, and 6, there was the Darth Maul fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. There's a few, but there's one in particular where they're in a cave and the animation is just so good, and it's one of those fights that it has that emotional resonance with you, and you feel the rage between both of the characters because it's at a boiling point, and you're just like, this is why I watch Star Wars. It's not because they have a lightsaber.
Right.
They're just using that as a tool of their emotion. Like that's what they have. And I really like that they're coming up with these episodes again, but now I feel like I have to go back and rewatch them a little bit.
No, it's great for me because
I'm
in the middle of Rebels right now, and the plan was when I was done with Rebels to do Clone Wars anyway. So I'm like, sweet, cool. I got an excuse to get this Disney service as if I wasn't already going to.
As if you were not going to get it.
There you go.
Noam Sane was asking, isn't it better when you go to a panel and something unannounced happens as opposed to like
that's good.
Sort of the expectations like we know we're going to get this end of the panel. I'm in the same boat. Like I think it's really cool when a panel has an opportunity to present something. They went in for a 10-year retrospective of Clone or anniversary, I guess, from the premiere of Clone Wars. Then at the end of it, you're like, oh man, we get something extra.
Right.
And I would say with Warner Brothers today, I think we knew mostly what we were going to get. Honestly, the only movie that did not show up that I thought was going to show up was Mowgli. I thought Andy Serkis.
Oh, that's right. You did talk about Mowgli.
I thought Andy Serkis was going to show some more stuff from Mowgli. It didn't happen, so we got one less movie than I thought. But for me, I was surprised how much of what I saw I loved.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really solid 2-hour block.
Godzilla was pretty surprising.
Godzilla was
surprising.
Awesome.
Lego movie's solid.
Lego movies,
of course. Always solid.
Grindelwald minus the Johnny Depp thing, the trailer itself. I really dug the trailer, and like as many people know, I'm not a big follower of Harry Potter. I haven't seen all the movies. I'm still sort of trying to get caught up on all of it. But I thought it was a really good trailer.
And that's definitely. Look, just to go back to that, to kind of to sort of give my final thoughts on this, because I know I was tweeting my reactions, and as we're watching the footage, I went, all right, this second Grindelwald trailer is like really heavy on the Johnny Depp, and I said, and it's a real bummer.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of people may have echoed some of those sentiments, and a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? Like, don't, the accusations, they settled. It's this. So as far as I'm concerned, bing, bong, boom.
Done.
And the problem is that, like, it's frustrating because it is J.K. Rowling who has created a world that is beloved by people, and it is about the underprotected rising up and being heroes.
Yeah.
Right? It is about marginalized people. That's what the story is about. It's about justice, and it's about equality, and it's about fairness. And on top of that, the movies are so well done, well shot, well acted. Like you said, the rest of the cast, Jude Law, everybody, like, it's great. So I asked Zoe Kravitz, like, if you had magic, what would you do? And she's like, impeach Trump. And I'm like, Zoe Kravitz, like, it's all
got
like,
to the we agree.
Got to the point.
And it's and again, Ezra Miller, like, God, we all love Ezra Miller. Yeah, I want him.
Ezra Miller, when asked that question, he was like, dismantle the patriarchy.
Dismantle the patriarchy.
Last year he showed up as Gandalf, and I was like, I'm all about this.
Him and Ray Fisher as Cyborg, but and then you go, like he says, dismantle the patriarchy, and then again, the movie features an actor that I cannot help but have the emotional reaction when I see him as being bummed out. Right. I get bummed out. I'm sorry. Yeah. I see Amber Heard, and I get happy. Because I'm like, good for her. Like, I want her.
It's a ballsy move for her to come and show up.
Absolutely. Not just that, but it's great that Warner Brothers supported her by being like, we want her in Aquaman, and we're all about Mara, and the character looks really fun and cool and exciting. But it's also just a bummer that J.K. Rowling, Warner Brothers are like defending Johnny Depp after the things he was accused of doing, as opposed to trying to find a way to stick to some beliefs and messages that J.K. and Harry, that whole universe, is all about.
It's not even just that. It's given the current climate of the world right now. It's very appropriate for them. They're
dismantle the patriarchy.
They're unwittingly siding with somebody who right now is currently being put in the spotlight. Like somebody like Johnny Depp and all these other creepy sexual predator guys in Hollywood. Like, this would have been this would have been their opportunity to be like, you know what? No, this is the time where we change Hollywood.
And the frustrating thing is like why even put your movie under this kind of microscope? What is Warner Brothers getting out of this? A Johnny Depp performance?
Well, is
there nobody else who could? You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing that's to me personally, I'm just like, they had a stellar cast. Catherine Waterston, Jude Law, Eddie Redmayne, Zoe,
Dan Fogler,
Great. And I'm like, you could have easily spent the 25 minutes that you had talking about Fantastic Beasts and given those actors more time to talk about the evolution of the character since the last movie, where they want to go, all that sort of stuff. So, they try to do a Tom Hiddleston Loki thing, and it's like, well, here's the thing, though. Everybody loves Tom because, so far, thank God, he is a great guy. So, I think that's a big difference. But, we also we did trailer reactions or I guess reviews for Aquaman, Shazam, and Kong. Or, sorry, I keep doing that.
Because Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Exactly.
And they're doing this on purpose so that the next Godzilla movie is Godzilla versus King Kong. And it still has King branding in it.
Exactly.
It's
King. The word King.
Yeah.
It's all very mighty.
That's why they're doing it on purpose.
Well, what I will say is about the Aquaman trailer, I do like the one that came out online.
It's okay.
But we saw a trailer that was so
I've been telling people
freaking good.
Since we got out of there. And I had to leave. I've been telling people, I'm like, the second trailer, awesome.
Yeah.
Because I talked to somebody and they were like, I didn't like the first trailer. I didn't think it was great. And I'm like,
it's because you didn't see what we saw, homie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We showed it to Pooch in here, and even Pooch was like, I don't know. And
then you guys explained the second trailer.
Yeah.
People get hyped up. Yeah, people get hyped up when I explain to them, like, no, there's a really cool action sequence with Black Manta and other villains. The chase sequence with Mara and Aquaman, it's super dope. It's all one take. Blah, blah, blah. People, like, you explain it to them, they're like, oh, this is cool.
Bob put it the best way, where he says, Manta looks so much cooler than anybody with a bubble head should look.
Deserves to.
Yeah, deserves to look.
The other extended sequence I liked was at the beginning was this. Is there noise getting picked up?
Yeah, I think Zach's watching some video.
Oh, that's what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's
what you're hearing. Opening sequence where it's Aquaman, and he's not Aquaman, it's Arthur. And Mara as they're doing this Romancing the Stone Indiana Jones thing.
100%.
And because we got to see the humor between the two. We got to see the interplay. We got to see the, when she uses her powers to absorb sweat to activate this thing. And he goes, you could have peed on it. And I'm like, I love this Aquaman.
It was great.
This is fun.
Yeah.
And that whole energy of like they're in the desert and he's like, there's no way there's any Atlantis thing out here. Like, we're in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, are we picking up an entire trolley crash that's happening outside? What's going on?
It's not a crash.
You're looking at us like it's that 10-minute train. This is going to be 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
I got caught behind this the other night. Yeah. It's 10 minutes long.
They're rolling in. Comic-Con 2019 is coming in.
They're rolling in actually cars made in Mexico.
That's right.
As they're delivering them to every dealership in the United States.
That's where you get your cars from, guys.
Right there.
Yeah,
right there.
There
Ding, ding, ding.
Shazam, though. Shazam, great.
Shazam was great.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Another highlight.
It was, to me, the most surprising thing that we saw this weekend, because this was something that I was not too hyped about at all.
So it's interesting because I'm in the opposite side.
Right.
I was super excited about it.
Yeah. But are you still super excited about it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
My hype
increased.
My hype increased for the 3 DC movies. Actually, I'd say for Wonder Woman 2, about the same.
Sure.
Because still walking away from that footage, I'm like, it's unfinished.
Yeah.
And I need more context.
Sure.
And I don't know exactly
what's going on. It was literally 45 seconds long, I think.
Super short. And even the shot that we saw Wonder Woman running, I'm like, they're going to do some stuff to that. It's not all the way ready.
I had to remind myself and Hector.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is...
I know.
I'm pretty sure that was just test footage, honestly.
It's going to be great because it's Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
Of course.
To hear her talk about Wonder Woman, I was like, this is going to be great.
And I think the big takeaway for me for the Wonder Woman 2 thing was we're not treating Wonder Woman in 1984 like a sequel.
Yeah.
It is obviously the next part of the chapter, but it almost felt more anthology to me, kind of like the Christopher Reeve or Michael Keaton Superman movies, where it's like, yes, it takes place in the same universe. It's the next chapter of that story, but we don't really feel beholden to what happened before.
Yeah.
And also it gives us an opportunity to do a new story, sort of just explore the world in a whole new way.
I think it's brilliant, and I think this because, like, I think people think of movies, and I don't think they can kind of break out of this because we live on a very day-to-day basis. So everything we do is very connected to the day before and the day after. The way we think of, but we don't think about it in time as like Wonder Woman and people change over time.
Absolutely.
So we're capturing maybe like a day or a week in the 80s when she was a different type of person.
And the last time we saw her was 1917.
Exactly.
1918,
so she's, everybody grows and evolves, and it's part of being human, and her being so compassionate and so willing to accept and love. I'm sure that she goes along in different phases of that as well. Like she'll go along, and we're going to capture her in a very specific phase in the 80s. And I wish more movies would kind of take this route as well.
Yeah.
Like, not everything has to be interconnected. I'm glad Marvel does it. They pulled it off beautifully.
Yeah.
But if this is the route that I'm hoping DC takes from now on because of that tagline, the worlds of DC.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily even have to be
connected.
Wonder Woman in the same universe.
Right.
It's separate worlds.
It's different worlds.
Yeah.
I think that's what Shazam did so well in the trailer, was establishing, hey, here's a Batarang, here's some newspapers about Superman.
Yeah.
It exists in this universe, but this is Shazam's story.
Right.
And it's you know, if you look at the comic books, a lot of the comic books, it's a story set in the Shazam universe, but it does the same thing. It gives you hints that, or it basically just shows you things in the background, little Easter eggs.
Not every movie needs to be a Suicide Squad, Flash versus Captain Boomerang cameo, a Batman versus Joker and Harley Quinn cameo. But it's about that world building of, like, if Billy Batson grew up, where in the year 2013, Superman shows up, what is that character like?
He was probably like 8 at
What
that
does
point?
that do to... Because we're seeing that now with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Peter Parker is 16 years old, but he's grown up now for 8 years, half of his life. Yeah. He maybe was the kid, maybe not. In Iron Man 2, what does that mean? How does that affect the character? So that when we do, enjoy this character's own story, how does that world around them affect their story?
Exactly.
How does growing up in a world where there's no Superman, no Batman, affect Diana in 1984 versus a Diana in 2018 when we see her in Justice League, or hopefully a Wonder Woman 3 that's like in the modern era where there's other superhero characters. Just pop the thing.
Pop it open, Adam.
But going back to Shazam, here's the thing I think you were trying to say, and here's the thing I think you were trying to say.
Yeah.
You were already hyped for Shazam because you had the faith that this was going to be tonally a shift from what we've seen so far from Warner Brothers handling DC. You were trepidatious because you're like, dude, I know this should be a shift, but so far from what we've seen, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, I don't know if Warner Brothers doing these is ready to do Shazam the way you knew Shazam needed to be. Thankfully, the movie felt tonally so different from any of these other movies. We were like, it's big. We were like, it's it's
wish
a kids,
fulfillment.
it's wish fulfillment. It's a kids movie. Yeah. It's kind of like Kick-Ass but family friendly. It's it's funny.
Hector, are you in my head?
Yes.
Are you?
Are you all in my dome?
Are you mind melding?
Do you believe in God?
Do you believe in God?
I believe.
I'm so curious if part of the reasoning for that is because it is a Warner Brothers distributed movie, but is produced by New Line Cinema.
Yeah. Maybe.
And I wonder if because the creative team there is different. The Rock, his team, they're also involved because they're doing Black Adam.
Right.
It's a little bit of a different creative team, and I'm wondering if that is also a part of the reason why they sort of feel like, well, it's just. I feel like for the longest time, we were never really sure. Is this part of the DC extended universe? Yeah. Not the official title, but is this part of that universe where Batman and Superman exist?
Right.
If it's not, why are we making this? But this trailer solidifies, yes, it is, but it's very much totally different, and I love that. And I think when you get a guy like Zachary Levi, he is a big kid.
That
bled through in the panel.
I didn't watch Chuck.
Sure.
I'll admit, I didn't watch Chuck. Zachary Levi, the first time I heard his name was literally when they announced him as Shazam.
Really?
I didn't know anything about
this
this
guy. But you've
guy.
seen Tangled?
Oh, was he?
The movie Tangled?
Was he?
He's
I didn't
Flynn Rider.
Here's the thing.
But still,
you know Zachary Levi. You just don't
I just don't know that I know him.
And he was in Thor the Dark World for 2 seconds and then Thor 3 Ragnarok for even less than that.
Wait,
he was in Thor.
He's Fandral. He's Fandral the Dashing.
I think he was only Fandral in Thor Ragnarok.
No.
In the second one, too?
The first actor, I think his name is like Josh Lucas. I think
it is Josh Lucas, yeah.
Couldn't do it for Thor 2.
Oh,
Zachary Levi came close when he was auditioning for Fandral. They went and got him. So he had a little bit more to do in Thor the Dark. He helped Thor,
I thought Zachary Levi was only in the third one.
That's the thing, though. Like, given that, even if I would have known, I don't feel like since I didn't watch Chuck, I don't feel like it would have given me enough time to spend with him to feel like this is it. But obviously, whoever casted this guy did a great job because he won me over 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I watched. I didn't watch the whole series of Chuck, but I watched quite a few episodes, and I really dug it. I thought he was really great. He was also in Heroes for a few episodes. I forget.
Was he in Heroes?
I forget the season like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I forget the character.
I didn't watch Heroes.
I forget the character that he played exactly. So for me, and we've run into him here at San Diego Comic-Con. He's such a big nerd. So he had that sort of childish personality and stuff. So for me, I was like, okay, cool. This seems like the right guy. And David Sandberg talked about, he's like, we went through like 100 actors.
Yeah.
But when we saw Zach, it just clicked.
That's interesting.
Really well. And I think the key is Zachary Levi talks about, he's like, I'm not playing Zachary Levi playing Shazam.
Yeah.
I'm playing Zachary Levi playing Asher Angel in an adult body. So
that's the key.
There's a lot of like nuance and a lot lot of kind of.
He seemed like he had a lot of chemistry with the other child age character.
Yeah,
Billy Batson.
Not Billy. No, Billy Batson's friend.
Oh yeah,
the other kid.
He played Eddie in It.
That's right.
God, I'll remember his name.
I forget the character or actor's name, but the one who later will become
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman, the one who later becomes Captain Marvel Jr., like another Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But he and adult Zachary Levi had that good. It's the same as Tom Hanks. With the redheaded kid and Big, they felt like best friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's that actor
they felt like
relationship
they connected.
is key.
100%.
Absolutely.
And
so,
also,
big highlight for me.
Speak 123 on Twitter tweeted at us. We have one more Chappelle Show reference that we can use this. What's his name? Not Clayton Bigsby, the hobo, Tyrone Biggums, does a Shazam transformation when he's drinking Red Balls. He drinks Red Balls and he goes, Shazam! And then he turns into like a super crackhead. And it's so now we have another Chappelle Show reference that I am going to add all the time.
That was so cool in the trailer to actually see Billy Batson just walking, Shazam! And boom!
It's such a quick transformation.
It was sick.
They did something to impact it, though. It was just like, oh, shit.
It
was just a lightning bolt, and he was there, but it was amazing.
He fought
really cool.
Savannah, Dr. Savannah.
Dr. Savannah, Mark Strong.
I have a feeling we're going to see The Rock as Black Adam at the end of this movie. I know you're saying they said no. Dude, I think it's going to be the post-credit.
It could be.
Okay, so
I really think so.
I'm just going to go ahead and say this because this could end up not happening at all.
Yeah.
So please do not tweet about this, do not Instagram about this. This could not end up happening. But I do know somebody who was on the set of Aquaman, and they had a maquette of Black Adam on the set. That doesn't mean that he's in Aquaman. It could mean that
exists.
It exists. It could be in development, whatever it is. Yeah. Is a possibility that he could show up in Aquaman to sort of help bridge the universe because they're in the Sahara?
It's possible.
So,
I mean, he might have awoken something. We don't know
what
that
machine
was.
We don't know. So that could be interesting. But I like the approach that the Shazam movie is focused on Billy Batson Shazam.
I agree.
Dr. Savannah, the Wizard. I think if you put Black Adam into it, it's not so much that Black Adam will sort of take over the attention from the character, it's The Rock. And I think it's a good idea to sort of establish these characters independently and then put them into a movie together.
I agree.
Yeah. Agreed.
Or even just like, well, let's get a really good Shazam movie, and then you can throw The Rock in there once people are attached to Shazam and Zachary Levi and this character that they love so much, which I think it's going to be successful.
I agree.
Because it's hard for The Rock to detach from The Rock.
Yeah,
it is.
Like in that interview with Jason, who played George in
Jason Lyles.
Yeah, Jason Lyles. So there was an Easter egg. He said that when The Rock signed to George, because they talk in sign language, when he says me and then he goes like this means rock.
Yeah.
I'm The Rock.
I'm The Rock.
Instead of his character's name.
Yeah, exactly. He's
me,
like me, Rock. I'm The Rock. So
I
that was cool.
That.
But that's the thing, like
The Rock is very much The
I don't
Rock.
think even The Rock wants to separate from the fact that he's The Rock. So, you know.
Which, by the way, if you have not seen that interview, we interviewed Jason Lyles, who does the motion capture for George from Rampage.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's on our YouTube channel. Such a nice guy. He spent 30 minutes with us talking about the motion capture technology, the techniques, how he worked with Terry Notary, who's worked with Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
It was a really cool interview.
Yeah,
that's great. Man.
He was out here at Comic-Con doing some signings and stuff. It was really, really cool to get a chance to talk to him. He was super, super kind. It was great. It was a really fun.
Yeah,
fun
it was a lot
especially
of
for
fun,
us being sort of like VFX nerds.
Yeah,
working on VFX for so many years, it was great to sort of get a behind-the-scenes look of like, how did you shoot this? How did this work? When you were George smaller, but then George bigger, like how did all that stuff come together?
Because there's
really
a big disconnect between the actors and the artists. Like, we don't talk to the artists at all. We just do what we're told.
So much nuance in the performance. It was really, really cool. The other thing, the people at Warner Archive were kind enough to give me a copy of Supergirl 1984. They had a panel with Helen Slater and Mark McClure talking about the restoration process of bringing Supergirl back to Blu-ray, the first time ever. It was a joy to be in this panel. I was in the panel with Cameron, and they presented the international version and sort of the director's cut version of this movie.
It says right here, this special edition of Supergirl presents a film's international cut, remastered in high definition for Blu-ray, along with the rare director's cut on a bonus DVD.
Yes.
Now you have to read it like
standard
Keller.
definition.
You have to read it like Keller, how he opens the 500 greatest.
That's right. That's right.
This special edition of Supergirl presents the film's international cut, remastered in high definition for Blu-ray, along with a rare director's cut on a bonus DVD. It sounds fancy as fuck.
It does.
You say it like you can say anything like this. Taco Bell creation features 3 cheeses,
3 types of Mexican cheeses.
Gordita Crunch.
Oh my god!
Will turn into a brick into your anus. That's it. Say anything in that fancy speak, and it's great.
So funny, but I'm so excited to check this out. They showed us some footage from it. It's amazing what you can do by going back to a negative, rescanning it in a higher definition.
That's cool, man.
It looks so crisp and clean.
I'm excited.
The suit looks amazing. Like everything, all the colors just really pop. And they gave us a little preview of the flying stuff. You know, it's 19.
Did this come out after Christopher Reeve's last Superman film? Same year?
So it came out in 1984. 84. And then 1 year after Superman 3, 3 years before Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
And 87.
Yes, 87.
Gotcha,
exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But it's amazing to see how you can restore this stuff. A lot of the technology is from projection, meaning that they had a backdrop for the person. They're flying in a space. But when you rescan the negative at a high resolution, it looks really good.
Really?
I'm still impressed with how it holds up. It looks cool. So I cannot wait to bust this thing open and watch the whole thing and do a review, check out all the special features. There isn't a whole lot, but they put some stuff in there. And Mark,
Do you guys want to watch any of the CW trailers? Because they dropped 5 of them today.
I'm not opposed to it.
I mean,
so here's the thing with us.
Yeah.
So we primarily follow a lot of the movie stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're sort of like all over the place when it comes to TV. Like we've seen select episodes of Flash, Arrow, Legends, and all that sort of stuff.
And I tend to watch. I
watch
watch
the
shows for DC TV on DC All Access, but even then, I don't get to watch every single episode of every show week to week. So like, I'll watch like 2 weeks of The Flash in a row, and then skip 3, and then come back. So like, I'm kind of all over the place. I tend to like to rewatch them when they like put them on Netflix. That sort of season recap and just power through. Did you want to watch any of those trailers, Zach?
We can watch them with you, Zach.
Go for it.
Let's do it.
come on in.
Yeah. So
do we really?
Yeah.
5,000.
So
bring him on.
5,000.
I don't think
I'm nervous. This is the biggest audience.
I don't think Krypton released a trailer, but they did do some hints towards Lobo, who's going to be showing up in season 2.
Wow.
Obviously, Doomsday is another character who shows up.
Wow,
but,
really?
yeah. So the other panels we got Black Lightning, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and Arrow. The cool thing about Supergirl, so they revealed on the panel today, they cast a transgender actor to play the first transgender superhero on Supergirl.
Yeah.
Wow.
As far as I know, I think, I could be wrong, I think the character is an original character created for the show.
Interesting.
But she's a member, she's a transgender woman. She's a member of the Legion of Superheroes, I think. And I, through my DC TV show, had heard that it was going to be a new character that was going to be like a reporter for the for Cat Grant's newspaper. So like a co-worker type character. This very like young and opinionated. Woman in her 20s. She happens to be transgender, but she was going to be like very tech savvy. So I don't know if that's the same. If they kind of switched around the character idea before that, but I did hear that was a goal of Supergirl this season was to feature this kind of representation, and it's thrilling, man. I read a little thing of what she said. Is this the one that doesn't work? No, that's
one is the one.
Headset one does not work.
Okay, cool. Yeah, gotcha. All right, but
there it is.
Come on, Zach. I hear it. Yeah,
we hear the wrestling.
I hear clanging.
There it is. Clang. There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, it's like butter.
I also heard that
you're missing the little pop in the little.
People
that's all right. That's all right.
I'll keep my peas away.
He can manage.
People were saying in the chat the Arrow panel was emotional.
Really?
I don't know what happened. In the panel.
I don't watch these shows.
No,
anymore.
but again.
Zach has watched everything.
Right. I can imagine with Arrow coming back for its 7th season. I don't know if they announced this is the last season, but it's this thing of like Stephen Amell and the crew. They've been at it for 7+ years. Yeah. I'm sure that's where the emotion came from. I'm sure that's where that fans get to kind of like maybe their last Comic-Con before the show is done, or before, maybe next year will be their last kind of a recap.
Right.
But
it needs to stop. Honestly, it needs to be the last season.
I think they've told the story that they wanted to tell.
Okay. Yeah, and that's sort of thing like. It sucks because, like, I started watching all of these shows. I watched all of them. Legends, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, all that stuff. And I think the big bummer for me is a lot of these shows kind of overstay their welcome.
Well, because
they run out of story.
They do.
It's 23 episodes.
Like, Flash
episodes,
Season 1, for me, is so good. Getting to Season 2, 3... Later on, it feels so repetitive.
Last season was pretty good. Falls apart in the second half.
Yeah, and I'm just like, God.
Supergirl kind of keeps getting better. But Black Lightning, though.
Because
season
that was
1 of Black
13
Lightning
episodes.
was so good.
There we go.
So good.
All right, pull up what you want to watch, man.
Well, I kind of want to watch.
Guide us through this.
I want to watch all of this.
Let's do it, baby.
The Flash trailer.
Oh,
Comic-Con.
Okay, so you guys aren't caught up on this?
I'm caught up. Just go.
You're gonna get spoilers. You're gonna get spoilers.
And there, the food has arrived.
Perfect timing, you guys.
You got to do it. All right, Naeem, you ready?
247.
Load us up, Naeem.
Let's hit
wait,
this.
Naeem's not up yet. Ready?
Here we go.
There you go. Good timing, Naeem.
All right, new season of The Flash.
The satellite.
I gotta run really fast again.
It wasn't just me who took it down.
Who was it?
It was our daughter. Spoilers,
sir.
Oh, no. I know this. Yeah.
There was a second baby fist.
Hi. We need to
This
talk.
was a great scene.
Who are you?
I really like this.
I'm your daughter, Nora.
From the future.
Yep.
Oh, snap.
Nora Quest.
Anybody need a refill?
Let's go.
Just me?
Best character
Not
on any
even
of these
sugarcoating
shows.
it or anything.
That's my dude.
People call me XS.
Why are mixed race
A
people
nickname you gave
the
me
most
when I
beautiful
was a kid,
people in the world?
and
I'm
I'm kind of
jealous.
stuck here now.
I'm jealous too.
Yo, Malika and I are gonna have the prettiest babies.
You are. You
We
really
know.
are.
We know.
You know what to do?
This is so weird.
God, I love this place. I can't believe that's our daughter up there.
Nora shouldn't be here. She could Marty McFly herself out of existence.
Hey, I like it.
It's
Okay.
30 years from now, not us now. Nora, I need to know.
Poker face is that bad, huh?
Please. Why'd you keep this from us?
I think I made a big mistake. I'm sorry.
We can't
We
let
don't
this
need
get
80 of
worse.
these.
Here we go.
Now let's do this. I don't have a suit.
Actually, I have a backup.
Oh, sick!
Finally.
That's where it comes from. That's cool.
What?
That's cool. Uh-oh, here we go.
The Joker.
All right, who's the big bad? This. Please don't be a speedster.
Yeah, I don't want that anymore. Jigsaw.
Captain Cold.
Darth Vader.
Okay, these are all wrong.
Batman.
Who is that?
Black Lightning.
That's knifey flashy.
It's knifey flashy.
Oh, tell me another speedster. No more speedsters.
That's a speedster. That's
Jake
a lightning
Garrick.
bolt. They're not going to tell us. That's a speedster.
Oh, I don't. I've never in a million years could I tell you who that is based on that.
No idea.
No.
Literally 2.5-second shot.
Knifey, stab, man.
One thing I will say, one of the coolest things in season 1.
Cult leader.
Who is it?
Life-draining cult leader, Cicada.
Interesting.
Darth Speedster.
Cicadia. It's not a speedster.
One of the things that I loved in season 1 was seeing Harrison Wells or the real Eobard Thawne show up and use the ring to get into the reverse flash suit. I love that. To finally figure out, like, where did this come from is so dope. I love the ring. I think it's such a cool touch.
Nice. Here's the weirdest thing with all these CW shows.
Yeah.
I'm not a DC person.
Sure.
I watch all of these out. Okay, I say
You
that.
enjoy them.
I enjoy them.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because they get the characters right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to be
Embrace
light
the tone.
and
Yes.
embrace the
Yeah.
tone.
Yes.
Which I feel like, like the crossover event last year was such an
so
achievement.
good.
Such an achievement.
It's a DC comic come to life.
It was great.
And to me, that's like the fact that Berlantiverse and all those people, they're willing to just, no, you know what? We're making DC comic shows. Let's embrace that. And I think that was the cool thing about today, being in the panel for Hall H. I'm like, all right, I finally feel like DC movies are embracing that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this looks cool. I just wish I had caught up on all this stuff.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to sort of see how the daughter plays into the story and how that what repercussions that has in the world, because we've had people cross over from other Earths and all that sort of stuff in the Flash TV series, and there are always consequences to that. So I hope that with that happening in this, I don't want to just sort of see the same thing happen again, where it's like we're just dealing with the repercussions of this.
Yeah, I feel like the Flash started off so strong and then has gotten extremely repetitive, but it has such great characters.
It does.
That even if I don't care about the story, at least I can have fun with the characters.
If Cisco's in an episode, I will like that episode.
Okay.
He makes everything better.
He's not my favorite.
He makes everything better.
What?
He's not my favorite.
Maybe check on my burrito.
I mean, he reminds me a little too much of you, honestly.
That might be why he's my favorite.
That's exactly why.
Exactly.
Remember when we met him, we were just like gushing a couple Comic-Cons ago?
But to echo
right.
your sentiment, Zach, like the characters are so strong that even when we are seeing what we can basically tell, this is a filler episode, they're ramping up to the last 2 or 3 of the season, and this is kind of filler. We still like the show because of the characters and because of the actors.
Except Wells.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
The
tired
last
of Wells?
couple seasons, they have just not known what to do with him, and it's become a parody of itself.
It's a repeat.
It's
like
a parody
Wells
of itself.
from Earth this, or this, Earth this. It's like, it's so repetitive.
Not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun. Okay, so next up is DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and I feel like
real crazy.
Best show they've got.
Yeah.
Except for Black Lightning.
It does not
I put
give
Black
a
Lightning
damn.
on a different
It does not
scale,
give a
but
damn about being big and bombastic and fun.
to the point of, you see, like, if you're not cut up on that and you're wondering why you should watch the show, the quick recap at the beginning of this trailer of last season.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't cut up, you're going to immediately be like, okay, I got to catch up because this is so dumb.
I have a feeling I'm going to see something. I'm like, yep, that was the moment.
Yep, that's the moment. All right, Naeem, we're doing it.
This is a favorite of mine.
Legends of Mañana.
Today is the day that we prove that Rip did not sacrifice his life in vain. And today is the day that we prove that we are not losers.
There it is. I loved this so much.
And today is the day that we earn.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, and I was all about it.
Right? It's a good time.
Whoa! Worked. Finally, we're not screw-ups forced to clean up our own mess. For once in our lives, we are actual heroes.
of tomorrow.
All I'm saying is Constantine has magical monsters. So where are they all hiding?
I want dragons.
You guys are time-traveling superheroes?
Yeah, we've actually saved the world.
Really? We saved the world.
Oh my God, it's Paul Revere! Twice.
He looks like Harry Potter.
Then why does it still suck?
4 years doing the same old crap.
Why does it still suck?
What I think it is?
Couldn't have been heroes for just a little bit longer.
Oh, relax, Sarah. We didn't screw things up for the better this time. We screwed things up for the more magical.
Yo! Hell yeah.
So dumb!
Hello, John.
Sarah.
And John Constantine is great in the
Matt
show.
Ryan is so great.
It's rising. Malice wasn't the only prisoner to escape his realm when you decided to pull back the veil between our worlds. Throughout history, immortal monsters have returned to prey upon humanity. The only thing between life as we know and complete pandemonium is you bloody wankers.
The legends have things under control.
Is that Jimi Hendrix?
They ran into Jimi Hendrix.
Bro, they ran into George Lucas. Come on.
I'm a nasty piece of work.
You will not escape.
Gorilla Grodd?
Legends now more than ever. We're a team of outcasts and misfits. You're one of us.
Hey.
Here's the thing.
I'm confused. We are all happy that there was only one dragon, right?
Well, it would be good for our ratings. But don't worry, we have a few dedicated fans.
I'm an interim legend.
Yeah, Gary doesn't count.
The first episode back is called The Virgin Gary.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, God.
That's how fun
Inside
the show
info.
is.
Inside
It's so
info.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows
Yeah.
of all the superhero
It's just
shows
enjoyable
that's on
to
right
watch.
now.
It's just enjoyable.
I really felt like John I understand the show has issues and all that sort of stuff, but I, for the most part, really enjoyed what I saw out of that show. So it's really cool to see that CW was able to take that character and bring him into Legends and integrate him into this bigger team, because I think it just creates a fun dynamic and it just adds another element to the DC universe.
Yeah.
The supernatural element. I really like that.
What I love about that show is it feels like the cartoons.
Yes,
it feels like I'm watching
Yes,
the old
it does.
cartoons, you know, and I
Super
imagine
Friends,
a new
Justice
generation
League.
checking out the show and learning about these characters. 'Cause
Totally.
I personally am not a big fan of DC Comics. This is no, within our realm of people who do this.
Now 5,000 people know.
I know, and it's not a big secret, but I like DC TV a lot more, and I like the old cartoons a lot. I love the old Justice League cartoon, Justice League Unlimited, like it so much, the old Batman show. And then these, I feel like, are embracing that feeling.
Agreed.
You know, and it's like when I read a comic, I like something I can relate to a little bit more. That's why I always like Marvel, and it's weird that the Marvel movies have become more fantastical.
Oh, Hendrick called this from day one. He was like, Marvel fooled everyone. They flipped it. They're making DC content.
Yes, they are.
And DC's trying to make Marvel
they are.
content.
It's a total flip.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
It's a total flip.
Because Batman sort of led them astray, thinking that every character was like Batman. When Batman's the outlier, he's the most Marvel-ish.
Yes.
And even though my favorite movie franchise, and I love DC and Marvel, my favorite movie franchise of all time is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 20 movies in, I think it's phenomenal. I will still say the best shared universe of all time is the DC animated universe, from Batman the animated series to Justice League Unlimited. Like you
Superman
hands
too.
down.
Yes,
Hands
Batman
down.
Beyond. You cannot top that shit.
It's pretty great.
It's so good.
So good. It's
Unlimited,
a really
when
solid
Unlimited
universe.
started, and it started like focusing on all the side characters that were part of Justice League and giving them these vignettes that were so well written.
Question, Booster Gold,
the Flash Rogues Gallery episode.
God damn,
so good. So good.
All right. Next show.
Black Lightning.
Keep
Let's get
going.
Black Lightning in here.
Otherwise, we're going to be here for 10 hours.
Somebody said, what does DC stand for? Detective Comics.
It does.
Yeah. So for many years, and maybe still technically, it's Detective Comics.
Yeah. Detective Comics Yep. Detective Comics number 27. The Birth of Batman.
That's right. 1939.
That's right.
Okay, so who has anyone caught up on this show?
I just saw the
I've
first
seen most of
episode.
it. Naeem says yes.
Name's all over it.
I got you. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is Malik and I's favorite show on TV.
Really?
Right now.
Wow.
Better than The Expanse?
Okay. I mean, come on, that's like a different category. That's not TV. That's
You
my
said
on
best
demand.
show on
That's
TV.
on demand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pay for that show.
All right.
I bought this season.
I feel you.
I
feel you.
shrimp burrito, Naeem. I didn't know you said fish. I'm sorry.
Whoa, shots fired.
Should have texted.
No more meetings from you. It is time that people know that Black Lightning is back.
Yeah.
Wait. Before you knock me out, you think I can get a pic? Hey, can you make sure you light up?
What? No.
Bitch.
Damn right.
My man. Do you remember why you became Black Lightning?
The Black Lightning is back. This is a game changer for Freeland.
Excuse me? I'm not afraid of the 100.
Bitch, you should be.
Jeff, where are you going?
To get our girls.
That was such a good sequence.
To stay scared. Well, I'm standing here tonight to tell you. We're gonna send the 100 back a message.
With Black Lightning's help and with God's help, we can save this community.
I got you. I'm gonna take the stairs. I'm just getting back into this. Brother needs all the exercise he can get.
Yeah.
Unlike other men, the laws of convention and morality do not apply to me.
Wow.
These are my streets. If the people of Freeland start to perceive we are no longer in control, then they won't fear us. And I surely can't have that.
He's supposed to be dead.
You need to take Black Lightning out. If I were you, I would use some of that albino magic to get it done.
Whoa.
Jill Scott.
You got
She a voodoo lady? Whoa.
It's gonna take more than a clown in a shiny suit to take me down.
I've been working on something new.
Ready to give this thing a little juice?
I thought you'd never ask.
So sick!
I just found my new favorite thing. Damn, Gambit, you've been holding out on me. So what do you see? I see everything.
So
Can
cool.
you see through people's clothes?
He isn't just Jefferson Pierce. He is so much more than that. You know that better than anyone.
And that's why I want you to stop him before he gets addicted again.
He was in a war to save this city and its people. Then he suddenly stopped because he was addicted to you.
As a neuroscientist, I know everything there is to know about the brain, but not so much about the heart.
Smooth line, lady. Just because you have abilities doesn't mean you have to use them.
Then train me. Show me how to do this.
Young folks with outsized powers traveling the world, knocking bad guys on their asses, and then there are the costumes.
That's a hot costume.
So cool.
Inherited abilities as well.
Jen is already too much to handle without powers.
Jefferson's like a battery. He takes electricity from the source and channels it through his body. Her cells are creating pure energy. Jennifer's a generator.
Why is nobody listening to me? I don't want to have powers.
You will live the life that you want to live.
I've decided I'm ready to have sex.
This is great. This is a great recap. It's a great recap. I think I might have clicked the wrong thing, but I don't care. We got 6,000 people that are now like going to go be like, oh, you know what? Black Lightning looks fucking dope. I'm going to check it out.
This just convinced me to watch this show. I'm going to watch this when I get home.
You have to.
So good.
It's only 13 episodes.
More than that. I am of this community. And
it's on Netflix now too, right?
It's on Netflix.
Watch this shit.
That's why I'm going to go watch it.
A better police department. Are you serious? Consider this the black signal. You still got jokes, huh?
The black signal.
We've got people
Love that
running around
moment.
with superhuman powers.
I'm going to have a brown signal.
Bioweapons, and we have to have more of them than anyone else.
The guys we are going after, they are beyond the law.
This is not you. This is not the Khalil I was friends with. Please, you don't have to do this.
Jennifer, this is me. And yes, I do have to do this. Secure the stage 2 pods for relocation. We are go. Full tactical.
Even if you win, the ASA isn't going to disappear. If they think there's some kind of meta-human arms race, they are going to keep coming after you. So that's it then. High-low tactics. Light me up, old man.
We've been given a gift, a blessing from God, and we intend to use it to protect this city and its people. None of them are stable.
Okay, how do we get them out the pads?
The briefcase. I need the briefcase.
Side, baby. You're looking at the king of Freeland.
I like
First
that guy.
order of business.
He's great.
Ripping the damn light out of Black
so
Lightning.
much.
Tobias Whale.
Fucking love this show.
Body slam, bitch.
Okay. So I clicked the wrong thing.
No, that was it.
That was it.
I thought no, there was no.
It says Comic-Con 2018
Look, man,
They
trailer.
released the season 2 trailer. I could have swore they did.
That's what it says, though.
Close.
Look, that's on TV
It says
Guide.
2018 trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, I could have swore I saw online that there was a new.
It might not have been. This is something they might have shown at the panel anyway,
Yeah, that
Zach,
might have been
because
the panel
I don't know if they've
presentation.
even started shooting season 2.
Okay, all right. So
In
the
any
Google
case-
the Google search I did was wrong, but you know
Gotcha.
what? Go fucking check out Black Lightning.
Just go
I mean,
watch it.
look, I
do
watched
it.
the pilot and just the tone.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: Black Lightning does not take place in the
My bad.
Arrowverse. It is separate from the other superhero movies.
Remains to be seen.
I mean, for now.
For now.
For now. And I think the thing that I love about it is the fact that the show is very much, it just sort of goes out there and just hits certain themes that I think are very relevant to today.
Oh, it does not pull punches.
It does, yeah.
But it's also the best family show.
Yes.
Like, as a family show.
I bought
and the way
into the family element so
they
much.
handle it so honestly.
We can compare Black Lightning being a black male superhero with Luke Cage, the show. They tackle some similar themes. You have another black male superhero in America, another black man in America being a superhero. And Luke Cage does it in a more adult way, a more like, hey, our viewers are maybe like 15 and up.
Yeah.
And Black Lightning tackles a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same themes, but does it in a way where it's like, listen, your 8-year-old can be watching this.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like Black Lightning does it smarter than Luke Cage, though. If you want me to tell you
in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
I feel like it doesn't pull punches with some of its family aspects and the way it talks to the way he handles his daughters and the way his daughters talk to him.
Yeah.
I've seen scenes in that felt like some of the realest portrayals of family in general in this modern age and like how they're communicating with each other and not holding back and just being like, this is how it is.
Before we move along on this, let's get Naeem's idea. Let's get Naeem, come over here.
Jump in here real quick.
We gotta get because I know you were emphatically pumping your fists.
Yeah.
Naeem's on the board going.
Yeah. More so than for Godzilla, which says a lot.
All right. Okay.
Listen, I'm giving you a moment here. Come on. Work with me.
He's like, don't disrespect the king. Don't disrespect the king.
There's a lot of issues that go on right now in America, in the world, that it just is out in your face, all open, and it touches on him so beautifully that it just makes you think and wonder. Like it has like a conversation within the show that makes you, the viewer, want to have a conversation amongst one another, which is great. And Luke Cage, while it does do it, I don't think it does as well like Zach said. So I definitely recommend you guys watch this show. Like there was one moment, I don't know if this would be a spoiler.
Go ahead.
Do it, man.
There was one moment where Black Lightning was talking to a cop who was Caucasian, and he approached him. The cop was, I guess, beating somebody. Oh, he pulled the gun on somebody, and then Black Lightning knocked the cop out. And he's like, dude, just use a taser next time. And that's so relevant to what's going on in America.
And it handles it quickly, bluntly, not as in to say this is up for debate.
Right.
It handles it in a way that's to say, hey,
common sense.
This is a thing, and then it moves the fuck on, which
Yeah.
I feel like is more impactful because it's not telling you, hey, now let's try to dance around this subject. Let's talk about it. I feel like sometimes
let's try to show both sides.
I feel like sometimes, just in regards to Supergirl, sometimes it hits it dead on and just goes, and other times it tries to create too much of a discussion about it. Whereas I feel like Black Lightning just says, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in right now. This is what we deal with, and it moves on.
The episode of Arrow that dealt with gun violence was a little hit and miss for the same reason. They tried to show the kind of like the other side of the argument a little bit with the character Wild Dog, and it was like some of that stuff wasn't working for me, but the other stuff was, and so it's interesting that we can see some of these things in shows like this, and which shows are kind of more effective than others. So that's cool. Yeah.
They're
That's
smart.
awesome.
They're freaking smart.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite shows on TV.
All right, thank you, Naeem.
Thanks, man.
Cool.
So
is that it?
Let's end it off with the one that we're least excited about.
Arrow.
Arrow.
What are you talking about?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Now, but that being said, damn man, I really wish there was a Cloak and Dagger like season 2 trailer. But the fact it just came out.
There is.
Yeah. No.
They just announced that it's going to happen.
Gotcha. That's what it was.
They haven't started filming,
I'm thinking of a
Star
different
Trek?
show. No, different.
Because
show.
that's the one this year that surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah.
The episode that just came out 2 nights ago.
Yep.
Lucas and I both were talking about this a lot the other day. We were really worried that Cloak and Dagger was going to do the same thing Runaways did, where it just kind of stalled on itself, and you never felt like it was going anywhere, because there was that little, like, I think by episode 2, it was like, okay, what are they going to do here? And the last couple episodes, it's escalating. The characters are just getting stronger and stronger, surprising the crap out of me. No idea it was going to get that good.
Great. I'm just going to say this out loud. We'll see, because a lot of people are asking for the Supergirl trailer, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, we'll do it. I forgot all about it. I love Supergirl.
Let's knock that one out of the way first and then do Arrow.
Okay, well, yeah, because
Arrow's Arrow.
Because Arrow's Arrow.
Hey, man.
We love Echo.
We love Echo Kellum.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
Real quick, though, got to give a shout out to everybody watching. 3,800 people watching in the chat room.
Whoa, we were up to 7.
Whoa,
holy
we're up
shit.
to 7. We're at 5.8 right now.
No, it's up, and we lost front page at 9, so it's going to drop real quick.
But still, the fact that you guys are sticking around,
you guys are awesome.
So much.
Hit that follow button.
Hit that follow button.
We're here doing cool stuff all the time. Thank you for tuning in, Hype
100%.
RPG. Let's enjoy this together.
Let's enjoy this. Let's do this.
Supergirl Season 4 Comic-Con trailer.
Let's do it.
Now, the end of last season was very interesting.
Yes.
Because we got a duplicate Supergirl showing up, crashing somewhere in Siberia.
The universe.
Have you come around yet?
Have I come around? What do you mean?
To my boy?
Come from outer space.
Oh, Mon-El?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little? Just a little?
Our culture. They steal from us.
They take our jobs.
They hurt us. Look what they've done to our city, our country, our world.
John Jones.
A wave of destruction this planet has never seen. We don't need their heroes. When humans root out the invaders, we can be safe again. We need to stand up and be heard.
John, you look, huh?
Yeah, she's great. Whoa.
Is that Lena Luthor?
Because divided we fall.
It's starting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am an agent of liberty.
Say what?
This is my home.
Oh, this is the new suit. Yeah.
What is this? A Supergirl
This
suit?
is Supergirl's new suit.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is like a spacesuit?
Yep.
Yo, how we get a Power Ranger up here? We got a Power Ranger up in Supergirl now.
Yo, you know what?
Go Supergirl!
You know what I hope? I hope they introduce Emil Hamilton and he gives her that suit. Because remember in Superman the Animated Series, Superman had different types of
That's
suits.
right, he did.
One was a space suit, lead suit, and all that sort of stuff. I'm actually kind of all about Superman and Supergirl having different types of suits.
Yeah.
But I need context. Like, why?
Homie, that might not be Supergirl.
That
it might not be.
No, end of last season,
there was a duplicate.
Melissa Benoist played another like clone or something of Supergirl, lands in Siberia, wakes up, and she just had a rug on, a carpet, and all these Russian soldiers like freeze, and then it like the episode ended.
I think you're right.
People were saying that I think the filmmakers, the showrunners were saying that the next season is going to pay homage to Superman Red Sun.
Oh.
Where it's like what if Superman lands in Russia, but they're going to do it with Supergirl.
Cool.
So that person
seems
in the
exactly like something Supergirl
Yes.
writers
Wow. Yeah,
would do.
because they already
Supergirl's
did.
writers, they're like, yo,
They're
you
not
upset
subtle.
about some shit that's going on in the media right
They're
now?
not subtle.
We're going to do the best Superman you've seen
Well,
so
I think
far.
the cool thing about Supergirl 2 is Supergirl, the writers are not afraid to take Superman stories and repurpose them for Supergirl.
Because they're not doing them with Superman.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
they did for the Man Who Has Everything on Supergirl. Like they're taking good Superman stories and adapting them.
So I think that person in the suit, because they were shrouded on purpose, is this clone or this duplicate Supergirl who's going to be like a secret Russian agent.
Cool.
And how relevant is that?
Right.
The U.S. is infiltrated by Russian agents? That's crazy.
I do agree with Fadior.
That sounds like comic book stuff, Hector.
No,
I do agree with Fadior. Subtlety, thy name is not Supergirl writers.
No.
I love it, though.
though.
And I will say there was someone in the chat that said they stopped watching mid-season 1. Stick with it, because when CW takes over, I think it's more fun. I think it gets more fun. I think her rogues gallery is becoming great. She does it. That show does it better than the Flash. I think Flash focuses so much on one singular villain, and I feel like we keep getting all these really great these
Supergirl villains,
really great Supergirl villains
yeah.
in there.
And I think once CW took over, the element of sort of fun heroism and comic book really came in.
Yeah, they weren't concerned with making the show for CBS audiences, which are like old white people. Yeah. They were like, you know what? Let's just get this is for little kids. This is that's what it was.
It's really great. It's really fun. So Arrow, last one.
Okay,
last one.
Okay,
all right.
I gotta admit to you guys, I've seen every episode of the Arrow. I don't know why I keep watching.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah,
like 2 seasons ago, I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. Last season, I was like, who the fuck is this villain, and why am I supposed to care? Why am I supposed to care about this at all?
Talking about this guy that sounds like this.
I got a bad past.
That's right, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow. That's right, you're looking at Richard Dragon over here. That's what
I was an orphan.
Ricardo Diaz.
I came out midway in the season. You thought it was going to be another villain, but now it's me. Remember when that season started and you were like, oh, great, it's the guy from Lost. This is going to be awesome.
Benjamin Linus. No, it's Michael Emerson. No, it's me. I was in Planet of the Apes. It's me, Ricardo Diaz. I love Ricardo Diaz, so I'm not going to lie. I have a soft spot for Ricardo Diaz. Yeah. Because every time he shows up, I think he's acting his ass off. Everybody else is like putting in the work, but this guy's like, I don't think he knows what show he's in, so he's like, that's why I love him.
It's like Captain Cold.
Yeah. Who he thinks he's in another show.
We just need to put him in. We need to put him in Legends of Tomorrow, and it'll be. Perfect.
And he was. He started in there for that reason. Yeah. Hopefully, we get a recap. You guys will see what I'm talking about with Ricardo Diaz. I think he's next level. I love him. He's great.
Let's do it.
This is 2 minutes, so
here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Arrow first look.
Comic Arrows
trailer and first look.
In prison.
Give us that goatee.
587. Beautiful day.
What is he, the mayor now?
But he was arrested for being a Green Arrow.
This does make it a little bit interesting going into this season. He's finally followed through with something.
He's reading the Count of Monte Cristo.
It's been 5 months, man. Being out of control, I know it's not your strong suit. Focusing on what I can control.
Yeah, this looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
Avoid conflict.
Oh no! It's going to be an Eastern Promises scene. I don't want that on TV.
Don't need that on TV.
Oh boy! Here we go!
Never been where you were.
He's got that goatee going.
Stephen Amell's been hyping this up. He's like, there was 3
continues to employ
3 fight scenes he was proud of. Something in the pilot. I think one with him versus Deathstroke, and then he said the first episode of this new season.
As to the identity of this unknown assailant, this is someone new.
Oh, Michael Jai White, Vinnie Jones.
Oliver asked us to carry on. Sometimes people just need something to believe in.
I have to fight back.
Oliver Queen took everything from me. I'm gonna enjoy taking everything from him.
Sick. Again, I feel like they also just started filming, so that's like all from like the first or the second couple episodes.
Early on.
It's honestly, man, pretty good. Yeah, because he's in jail.
He's in jail. Well, I mean, and that'd feel a lot more impactful if we didn't spend half of the first couple seasons in flashbacks of him in different prisons. And I like that last season they stopped doing the flashbacks.
Yes.
I honestly like that. I was so tired of it.
Same.
They talked about that. They said, we're finally in the next season. We're finally gonna, or when they announced it, the next season we're finally gonna stop doing flashbacks about Oliver Queen's sort of origin.
Because he was on the island for 5 years. There were 5 seasons, so each season they were trying to cover a year of this island.
And I get it. I totally get it.
Way too repetitive.
At the same time, yes, way too repetitive. You could have done all of that in the first season, maybe season and a half.
Yeah.
And got that out of the way and just arrow, present day going into the future. But this looked good.
It looks good.
This looked good.
And, to give Arrow credit where it's due, there are fight scenes on that show that are still better than any other TV's fight scenes.
Agreed.
And Netflix could learn a lot from that show.
Yeah.
Because Netflix's fight scenes, for the most part, still suck.
Yeah.
Daredevil's got some good ones. Punisher's got a couple good ones. But
shout out to the choreographers on that show.
Shout out. And the directors that are coming in to cover them, because there's a couple, even in season 6, when I'm like, oh, this episode's not working, there'd be a great tracking shot through some area where the camera's going in and out of cars and doing some cool stuff. I'm like, these guys are having fun with these action scenes.
Yeah.
They don't all hit.
Yeah.
They don't all hit, but some of them work so well, and I know the timeline those TV shows were under.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is some crazy shit.
Impressive.
It's very impressive.
Definitely. Yeah.
Shadow Uzumaki was stating, hopefully this is the final season. There really has never been sort of a timeline for how long or when the series is going to end. So I don't know. There's potential for it to go to 10 seasons, but I think it's really going to sort of depend on how they can sort of keep the story going. Really,
Did any of you watch Gifted? A lot of people are asking us about Gifted.
I have not yet.
I haven't watched it either.
No. Okay, we're gonna skip that one.
We're gonna skip that one then.
Legion not caught up.
Nope.
Let's skip that.
So good.
Zach loves Legion.
First season I came out of it kind of like, I got a little bored by the end. This new season, Malika and I have been just.
That's what I heard.
Plowing through,
blowing our minds.
That's what I heard.
Blowing our fucking.
Do we want to do Star Trek Discovery season 2?
It's up to you, man.
You're the Trekkie.
Let's do it.
I'm into it.
Yeah,
you guys will see my
I don't watch
reaction.
any TV shows.
You guys will see my reaction.
I watch zero TV.
Here's
true.
I watched it earlier with Cameron and Emily. So
this panel, this trailer. Okay,
I don't know. It's weird. The way they set it up, it's like, they reveal something, and I'm like, but we already knew that this was coming. So we'll see.
Zach, that's the Orville. I don't want to watch.
The wrong one.
Cool.
Hey, wait, they're not the same show.
Oh, damn.
How dare you? Let me just say this: people that like the Orville and have said that it's more Trek than Star Trek Discovery, hardcore disagree, and I'll tell you why. Star Trek Discovery isn't misogynist. And the Orville is. That future has stupid, dumb jokes, and I'm like, I'm sorry, if you don't get annoyed by that shit and you're trying to love like a hopeful, optimistic Trek,
sure,
maybe recheck that, because it really, Seth MacFarlane, that stuff gets in the way of him having that message.
Yeah.
Look at little Lucas. He fell asleep. Look at Lucas.
Oh my God!
Pobrecito. Somebody take a picture of that.
Somebody take a picture of that. He's got his phone.
He fell asleep editing.
Oh my
hand
God.
on the
That's
laptop.
amazing.
This is the cutest thing in the world. I wish you
check
guys
our
could all
Twitter
see
for
this.
it.
Discovery, I thought. You guys, he looked at us like a groggy little bear and was like, "You guys talking about me while I'm brainstorming?" He was asleep.
You Winnie the Pooh the shit out of that.
He was brainstorming like a mother.
Oh my gosh! Star Trek Discovery.
Lucas, I love you.
It started different and it ended like Star Trek should be if you didn't stick with it. So, as a Trekkie, I was a big fan. I think you have it pulled up.
Is that the one? It said 2019. I was like, is this fake?
That's it. Okay,
yep, one day ago.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna check this out.
Okay.
Hector, after this, if this trailer doesn't do it, I'm gonna need you to sell me on the show, because I care. I care nothing about it, and I want to know why I should watch it.
We have always looked to the stars to discover who we are.
I mean, first of all,
and hidden there,
it's not everything, but good effects, like good special effects.
Yeah, the effects look great.
Space and time.
Those costumes look great.
Visible only to those open enough to receive it.
Okay.
Captain Christopher Pike requests permission to come aboard.
This is the captain of the Enterprise.
This is onward, but the best way to get into a cold stream is to jump right in.
This is what happens when your Inhuman show gets canceled.
The Discovery under Regulation 19, Section C.
He's great.
Your directive is only instituted when an imminent threat is detected.
Federation sensors picked up 7 red bursts, spread out across more than 30,000 light years. These mysterious signals are beyond anything we understand. Is it a greeting? A declaration of malice? Let's find out.
Aye, sir.
Fuck yes. All right, I don't know about the song, but okay.
6 seconds to impact.
I am in total free fall.
Trust us. Discovery has you, right, ladies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dear.
This is the power of math, people!
We have someone in
Star Trek.
My foster brother, Mr. Spock.
He took leave. It's as if he'd run into a question he couldn't answer.
Spock is linked to these signals.
and he needs help.
Spock is missing.
They're on a collision course with a pulsar.
Oh, what a relief.
Take Natara.
We're all gonna die.
Wherever our mission takes us, we'll try to have a little fun along the way. Ruffle a few feathers.
I look forward to it.
Hit it.
Punch it. I'm into it. I thought that was a well-made trailer.
Props to whatever VFX house is doing those effects.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Linus, you okay? You look a little... Yes, I hear it's going around.
Oh, not a good thing.
Oh, great. We're fucking making jokes in Star Trek again.
So, Hector,
Thank God.
here's the thing. If I'm somebody who came into Star Trek really enjoying the J.J. Abrams movies.
Sure.
Watching select episodes of the original series.
Sure. There's a lot for you in Discovery.
How,
there's a lot
convince
for
me.
you
Why
in
would I
Discovery.
want to watch Star Trek Discovery?
I'm in the boat with Adam here.
You got it. Well, first of all, if you guys wanted to, before the show premieres in 2019, I have CBS All Access.
Okay.
And I was planning to rewatch season 1 again.
do it.
Because I didn't like watching it week to week.
Of course.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't like watching it week to week. It was frustrating for me. I would have rather.
Hector's the most precious person.
I know.
I think it will work better as a show if you watch it, not necessarily binge it, but like one episode a night.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works better. But let me give you the
I'm not
premise.
going to come over to your house one episode a night.
Fine, then we'll knock out like two.
He'll come to our house.
We'll knock out like 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then like a week later, we knock out the next 3,
Okay.
and it's like 10 to 13 episodes, or like 15 or something, and then we're done.
Uh-huh.
But the pitch is that it's a show that I think the way that Skyfall tries to like defend the notion of James Bond and how we need the idea of James Bond to exist. The beginning of Discovery is like, look, everything's fucked. It's 10 years before the original series or the J.J. Abrams era where it's Kirk and Spock and McCoy on the Enterprise. 10 years before that, and we're introduced to a character named Michael Burnham, who's played by Sonequa Martin Green, and she's Spock's half-sister, like adopted sister. She's human, but was raised by Sarek and Spock's mother, his name is Amanda. And we've never heard about this character, and the showrunners that continue to say there's a reason we've never heard about this character. This isn't set in the Abrams timeline. This is set in the Prime. It's considered the Star Trek Prime timeline, the one where Spock is Leonard Nimoy and Kirk is William Shatner.
Okay.
So the fact that we saw Spock from the 60s
so
to
that
now,
Kirk's supposed to be Shatner?
Yes. That wasn't Kirk. That was Pike.
That was Pike.
Captain
I'm
Pike.
sorry.
But yes, that Pike is going to be the one to hand off the ship to Kirk.
Right.
But my pitch would be that the first few episodes start and it's dark because the Discovery, the USS Discovery, the ship that Michael Burnham's assigned to, is a Black Ops Starfleet thing because they're currently at war with the Klingons.
Right.
Okay.
So by the end of the series, the show proves why Star Trek deserves to be around by being optimistic, hopeful, like tear-inducing with this one speech, not by any of the characters I just mentioned, but by fucking Doug Jones's character. His alien character. He has a speech where he ends with, "We are Starfleet. This is what we do." Something like that, where you're like, that's fucking kind of inspirational. Like, but it thought that it needed to start in a dark place and lost a lot of people a couple episodes in, and it felt real muddled. And by the end, and the other pitch I would give you is Jason Isaacs is the captain on the ship. Jason Isaacs plays Captain Lorca, and he's phenomenal. Jason Isaacs
is an underrated
talent. He's voice actor. He's a
amazing.
live-action actor. He's the best part of The Patriot. He's the best part of anytime there's a Harry Potter movie with Lucius Malfoy in it.
He's prominently featured.
He's the best. He's so good. So he is a character that became my favorite character in the show, and like he's not even like the major. Like right there, Jason Isaacs killed it. So there's a lot of stuff to enjoy. At times it feels Trekky, and at times it feels like they're doing something different to stay fresh. It doesn't feel like 90s Star Trek.
Yeah, I don't want
like
people to retread things, but I want things to match spirit. But that being said, I've never been a fan of Star Trek, not because I just never had access to it. Growing up, that's not something Lucas and I ever had access to.
And if you go back and watch it now, it's going to be tough to watch to get into a show in 1987. It's going to be tough to get into a show from 1966.
If you don't have an attachment to it nostalgia-wise, you don't do that.
So for those reasons, that's basically my... And Michelle Yeoh, thank you for reminding me. Michelle fucking Yeoh is like Michael Burnham's captain. When Michael Burnham... The first 2 episodes are like the origin. Michael Burnham is the first officer to Michelle Yeoh, and she's the captain. Michael Burnham goes against captain's orders to try to prevent war with the Klingons, and she inadvertently creates war with the Klingons by giving them a Vulcan hello, which is what she was again, she's been raised as a Vulcan, and she's like, logically, we have to show aggression, otherwise the Klingons will think us weak and inferior and attack. And she does, and starts fucking war with the Klingons.
Oh, wow.
And then, so because she is going to prison for life, halfway through her, like, they're, like, transferring her from prison to prison or whatever, because she is the first ever Starfleet, like, what's the word? Not, I guess traitor. What's the other word? Like, somebody who, like, you know the word I'm thinking of? Somebody who, like, rebels, deserter maybe, traitor, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
First ever recorded in Starfleet. Halfway through this transfer, in Episode 3 is where the show really starts, where it's like she's getting assigned to the USS Discovery. Why? Because it's Black Ops.
Gotcha.
Because they need her for specific reasons, because of her skill set, and it's led by Captain Lorca, and they're doing shit that's like, we're off the grid. Like, we need to win the war against these Klingons, and we're doing stuff that... If you're an old school fan of Starfleet, you're going to be like, I don't know.
It's, for me, I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is my jam. Expanse
and there is
my
some
favorite.
Sci-fi shit in this.
Yeah, Expanse is like my favorite.
They did some
I love
research.
Lost in Space. Lost
they did
in
some
Space
research.
was really good on Netflix. Big fan of all those shows. So I'd be really into giving it a chance. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to have to do it with Malika. Malika's actually seen every single episode of old Star Trek.
Great.
Jupiter Flight Deck. Seriously, Zach, give it a shot.
I'll do it.
I would also be interested to see what Malika thinks, too.
Yeah.
For a lot of those, if she's seen every episode of the old thing, like, I love old Star Trek for different reasons. I love Discovery for different reasons. I love J.J. Abrams' Star Trek for different reasons.
Yeah,
You know, to me, it's all Trek, and like, By the end of it, though, like the last couple episodes, I was like, all right, okay, this is coming together.
The thing that was interesting to me about this trailer was the fact that they reference Spock.
Yes.
If it's 10 years before
people
that,
were saying, what sort of
happened
who's going to play
world?
Spock? And I'm really hoping it's Zachary Quinto. The showrunners have said we're going to see Spock because I
can't avoid it.
You can't, I'm like, don't recast Spock.
Sure.
We already have the best Spock.
Because in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe, Zachary Quinto is the younger version of Leonard Nimoy.
Exactly.
So just use him in this.
And with some of the timeline, like if you go to the original show, Spock was on the Enterprise for 10 years before Kirk shows up. And when we see him in the J.J. Abrams movies, he's like not a professor at Starfleet, but he's like a cadet. Like he's already like First Officer Spock, but he's the one who created the Kobayashi Maru test, and he's so. I hope that they do that, but I don't want him to be like one of the main characters of the show. I want him, if they're using him in this way where it's like he resigned. He needed to go answer something. Spock used to do that shit all the time in Star Trek. He would just be like, it is illogical for me to be, and he would fucking quit. And Kirk would have to be the one to be like, but Spock, this is where you belong on the ship, and blah, blah, blah. So hopefully we like barely see him, but I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So guys, I got one more thing to read off, and then I'll get out of here and let you guys close out the show. Will the Lynch 22 tipped and said, love you guys channel. Thanks a million for the SDCC coverage and live streams. It's been an absolute blast. Zach, you're the MVP. Hyper Heroes forever.
Yeah, you are, buddy.
Thank you.
For Zach and Hector, Spider-Man forever.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Did you go by that booth yet? The Spider-Man PS4 booth?
No, I haven't yet. I'm going to go tomorrow.
Dios mío.
You want to go together?
Yeah, let's hold hands.
Hold hands.
And have you read the Ryan Otley Spidey? Did we talk about this yet?
Yeah,
what did you think?
He showed it to us.
I liked it. Nick Spencer. Why do you keep calling it
I know.
Okay, I get it.
Because it's Ryan Otley.
I know. And it does look like Invincible.
It's exactly like Invincible.
I'm sorry, years from now, when they collect that, it'll be the Ryan Otley years on the you know what I'm saying? It'll be like Spider-Man by Ryan Otley. It's not going to be the Nick Spencer run.
I mean, I've got there's the Romita Jr. years,
right?
So
that's true. That's exactly. And then there's the J. Michael Straczynski years because it was Romita Jr. and a couple different people, and Straczynski.
And then Straczynski came in.
This is going to be a Ryan Otley. Like people are going to look back, and be like,
dude,
he's crushing.
He does it.
He does it.
He's doing a really
he
good
gets
job.
the movement of Spider-Man really well, and I love that. But Nick Spencer, I loved his Superior Foes writing, and to see him immediately start bringing some of those Superior Foes guys back in there, I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's make Spider-Man fun again.
Cool.
And not Tony Stark. Okay, that's all my...
That's what's up.
All right.
Hey, guys, let's wrap it out. Let's go
wrap it out.
Let's go some parties.
Guys, we had such a great time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out everything that we're doing at San Diego Comic-Con. We've got some California burritos that we need to devour. If you've been watching any of the streams that we've been doing, California burritos are near and dear to our heart. It is a tradition here in San Diego. If you are down here in San Diego, go check out Lulia's by the Park.
And this is not a paid sponsorship.
This is not a paid sponsorship.
We just fucking love these burritos so much.
Mike Hess Brewing hooked us up like crazy. They give us so much beer. I have it in my backpack. And I've been carrying it around San Diego Comic-Con the whole weekend. Mike Hess Brewing on all social media. Thank you so much. And everyone in the chat room, thank you so much for hanging out with us, talking about Comic-Con. We feel so privileged to be able to do this every single year, and this is the wrap out, guys. Tomorrow it's a very light day.
Yeah,
we won't be back till 2019.
Yep.
And
See Spider MX says, "Oh, no Iron for season 2." No. No. I'm sure it's cool.
Pero no.
I'm sure it's cool.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. You got a little. You got a little.
In the meantime, Augie, you have a panel tomorrow.
I have
What's
a
your
panel tomorrow. Let me pull up the information because I have been so busy that I don't have all the information.
Are you hosting any panels? Or are you done?
I'm done.
Are you done hosting, Hector?
I am walking around.
Yeah,
that's
baby.
That's right. Tomorrow is
I will say, I've been coming to Comic-Con since 2000, not every single year, but about 15 times I've been here. I got to be on my first San Diego Comic-Con panel on Thursday night. It was the shit.
Man. Congratulations,
I was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
I have a name card with my name on it.
That's the best.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
After 18 years of coming here. It was a great panel.
Ooh, we're going to be giving this away. I grabbed Jonan Vasquez's name tag. He didn't want it, so I grabbed it. I'm going to give this. We're going to be giving this away to some thumpers when we get back to LA. I'm bringing it with me. But yeah, it's dope.
No, I'm super excited. I got to be on a cool panel with Jessica Verdi, Cameron Rice, Jay Washington, Roxy Strider, a whole bunch of people talking about sort of being a superstar host. It was really, really cool. So grateful to be on the panel.
There we go.
But please tell us.
Mine. So my panel is called Career Advice for College Geeks.
Nice.
I work at a public university now. It's a good place to get people, like going off the ground. If you're confused about what you want to do, a lot of people really poop on like trying to follow an artistic or like a geeky career.
Follow your dreams, baby.
You got to follow your dreams. So we're going to be over there talking about it. A lot of super educated people are going to be there. My buddy on Instagram, Brian, at
motorcycle.com.
At motorcyclenoises.com.
Also, we both, Augie and I, got burrito stuff all over these mics. I'm so sorry, guys.
They're just like messy.
I'm so sorry.
Holy shit, you got sour cream all over that microphone.
Oh, boy.
And so,
Zach, that's why I haven't eaten mine yet.
It's going to be tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the San Diego Central Library. Come hang out if you want to talk with a bunch of cool educated people.
That's awesome.
Yep. In the meantime, guys, please make sure you guys are sticking around to HyperRPG on YouTube, youtube.com/HyperRPG, twitch.tv/HyperRPG. Zach, are we doing more live streams?
Okay.
Please let the audience know.
Okay. I will.
Zach's
I
broken.
might do IRL tomorrow. I'm broken.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking
Zach
tired.
has been hustling for 3 days doing IRL streams
everyone
for like
here,
8
the
hours.
whole crew. I want to say Matt, Lucas, Naeem have been fucking killing it. What you guys, you won't be able to see how hard Lucas has been killing it until Monday.
Lucas, I love you so much.
What was Naeem saying? Naeem just threw out all Lucas been doing, been sitting there.
Here's the thing. Every single night that we've been coming back to the hotel from going out, Lucas has been in the lobby by himself editing a music video.
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of dedication.
No sleep.
It's been wild. I want to say, shout out to everyone on Hyper's crew that's been killing it. So much work that they're doing. Lucas has been out there, coming back here to help set up shoots in here, and then immediately going back out to shoot music video stuff, and then editing all night. Naeem's been stuck in this room instead of getting to enjoy stuff at the con.
It's been crazy.
So we might enjoy some stuff tomorrow.
So I might go live with IRL tomorrow if there's something worth going live for. Otherwise, I gotta pick up some stuff for my wife. I gotta pick up some stuff for myself.
You need some family time, baby.
Well, Malika went back.
Never mind.
She's out. We got to build a set. Well, we got to build a set. We got a big show.
We got a show coming up.
I got to build a set.
Send Naeem, Matt, Lucas, Zach some love. Send them some love online. Send them some love on Twitter.
We would not be able to do what we're doing here today if it was not for these guys. Doing all this stuff is so difficult. To have their support is so
not even
hugely
just
beneficial.
support, but being so positive and enthusiastic.
And it's really important to tell them thank you, or they will get out here and bitch about it for 30 minutes.
Yes, they will.
Go back to sleep, Lucas.
Lucas has whiskey. He'll be real good. He got his Voltron Lego. So
okay, guys, we're gonna close it out.
Yes.
So we will maybe see
Thank
you
you
tomorrow,
so much.
But we'll see you next week for sure.
If not, 2019, baby.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, all you tabletop nerds out there? Zach here with a special San Diego Comic-Con announcement. HyperRPG, Stoic, and Versus Evil are teaming up to bring you a Banner Saga mini-series starting next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, live on Twitch. We've got the amazing Andre the Black Nerd, Shovel, Lasercorn, Trisha Hirschberger and Steve Zaragoza as our cast, and the one and only Adam Coble as our GM for this wonderful adventure. This will be a 4-part miniseries coming to you every consecutive Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific time, and you're going to want to get in there and watch it live because you, as a viewer, get to become a part of their caravan, making decisions that will drastically affect the overall story. This is all to celebrate the final installment in the Banner Saga series, Banner Saga 3, coming out on July 26th on all platforms. What better way to celebrate the amazing world of Banner Saga than through a tabletop RPG? We are so excited to bring this to you all. Make sure to tune in live on Tuesday after Comic-Con and every following Tuesday for 4 weeks, but if you miss it, don't fret, it'll be going up on YouTube immediately after.